I wanted to talk about mistakes. I have a young child, a toddler, 4, just turned 5, and he's always butting heads with me. And of course he's always making mistakes, and I'm always telling him what the answer is because I'm just, 10 times older than him. He's probably smarter than me, really. But I just saw the look of despair on his face, like him just always getting it wrong. And after a certain point, he had a look of like hopelessness, like he was just never going to get it right. And he was just one of those people who just getting it wrong. I don't want him to get too comfortable in that feeling. I want him to know that I'm wrong a lot of times too, and I'll point it out. And I'll remind him that I'm just a kid too. I just grew up, became your mom. So when I make mistakes, I tell him. I proudly tell him. I want him to have opportunities to feel like we're on a level playing field. I want him to have a taste of what it feels like to be right, to get it right. Car coming, fun. I want him to have a taste of what it feels like to do a good job at something, to have pride in it. I want him to have a taste of what it feels like to be great at something, to love what he does, to have ideas, creativity, find himself, feel empowered, like find things he's just naturally good at or that he has a passion for. So sometimes I'll let him just do things that just make him happy, whether he's making a mess or just watching some nonsense YouTube video eating popcorn. I want him to get like really comfortable and familiar of what it feels like to get it right, to be free of judgment, just have a good time, love what he does. Just freedom of the mind. Even as a child, are children really free? I want him to sometimes just do things that he likes to do. Because when he grows up, a lot of people are going to direct him this way and this way, what he thinks he likes, what they think he should do, what society thinks he should be, how far he can go. So, to me, that's really important. Because when I was a kid, even in school, I wasn't focused. I was in my own head, just trying to get by. I didn't think I was good at school. I had poor attendance. I didn't have the will or the desire to do my assignments. I didn't think I was good. The world told me I wasn't good at it. A lot of things. And I believed them. And then when I was in my 20s, I started going to junior college. And I liked my courses. And I did a good job. And I really just passionately loved my history classes and political science and speech. I even sang my speech about the branches of government. I sang, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And so I was literally finding myself, finding that, you know what? I'm not terrible at school. I'm not a terrible student. I'm not a terrible person. It just took a really long time to figure that out. I just didn't have the opportunity to taste it. Taste it long enough to remember what it tasted like, or to want it again, to aspire for something. So, something to keep in mind. And then my perspective changed. My sister used to travel the world, even a full year she traveled, and a good portion of it alone, and other times with people. But that and watching Rick Steves on PBS, because my parents didn't have cable, inspired me to go backpacking in Thailand. And I went for a month. And I had watched plenty of videos, got my Lonely Planet, packed my supplies. I just got so excited I forgot that I was all alone and I was going alone. So that first night in Bangkok when I unpacked my underwear, like a tear started to roll down my eye. It was so unexpected. I was like, why am I crying? So I was like, I don't know, but I got to push that back in because I got a month here. That's when I realized, like, you're alone, dummy. You're alone in a country. You came by yourself. You don't even have a cell phone. You just got this book, which is a great book. By train, by plane, by boat, it'll get you anywhere. Never felt like I was overcharged. Like, everything was laid out. You don't even need a phone, really. And I was never really alone. I traveled all over the place, like the northern border of Myanmar, the Gulf of Thailand, like the other side of Phuket, the jungles of like just random places in Thailand, the cities. And I literally like had enough time to be alone. I mean, I was with a lot of just people backpacking, but just random places. But it was like an opportunity where no one knew me. I could be who I wanted to be. If I didn't like chocolate ice cream, no one's gonna be like, you do, don't you know, you do. And it was like, literally, it was like a blank slate. I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know how to like paint the canvas. I didn't even realize it until the very end of the trip. I didn't even know what to fill it with. But I guess that's what it means to like find yourself. And then I think of like, if I had the opportunities, like that seed planted early, there's a mail lady, and watered and nurtured and had a taste of chocolate, and like aspired to get like 2 scoops of chocolate next time with fudge on the top and like whipped cream and sprinkles and a cherry on top, like to aspire for a cherry on top of a sundae when I didn't even like can't recall what chocolate tastes like. And that makes me think of like the criminal justice system. Like, I think that when someone is incarcerated, the minute that their sentence begins, you should just get like one of those cheap manila like folders and get a Sharpie and put that person's name and put the seed, where you start planting the seed and watering the seed, like of what it tastes like to have accountability, what it tastes like to have responsibility and grace and humility and pride and enjoy something you do. And like ideas come up to support that, to like yourself, and to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and love yourself, I guess. And I think to myself, if there were like cabinets, whether it's like a digital spreadsheet just filled with like seed folders, how reformation and the rate of recidivism would be. It's so hard to say that word. Like how it would like have a ripple effect on our town and our families and our communities. If people who never got a taste of chocolate was given like a chocolate milkshake every day, a chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, and by the time they got out, they wanted to be like Willy Wonka of the chocolate factory.